There is something sacred waiting for you. Not in the sky, not in the distance, but right here, hidden deep within your soul's timeline. Archangel Michael has stepped forward, not with thunder this time, but with something more ancient, more personal. He brings a letter, not written in ink, not printed on paper, but etched in light. This hidden letter has been waiting for you across lifetimes, through pain, through silence, through storms you thought would break you. And now, it's time to open it. He doesn't hand it to you right away. First, he makes you sit. He places it in front of your heart and asks, "Are you ready to remember?" Because this letter does not just hold messages, it holds memory, sacred memory, memory of who you were before you were shaped by fear, before your light was dimmed, before life tried to teach you to survive instead of shine. Archangel Michael has kept this message safe, untouched by time, untouched by shadow, until the moment your soul said, "I am ready." But here is the truth. Time is not waiting anymore. This letter cannot stay sealed forever. There is urgency now. Because something in your path is changing. You may feel it already. The dreams that seem louder, the emotions that feel deeper, the sense that something is about to happen. These are not coincidences. These are countdowns. Time is bending around your soul's journey, and this letter holds the divine instruction you've been missing, the truth that will align everything. As you listen, you may feel heat rising in your chest or a strange pressure between your eyebrows. Don't ignore that. Your soul recognizes this letter. It has waited for it. Archangel Michael shows you now, times when you almost gave up but chose to continue, moments when you felt invisible but prayed anyway, nights you cried in silence and no one knew. All of those moments were writing this letter. Every tear, every prayer, every whispered hope. It's all inside. This isn't just a message from Michael. It's a message from your own light, sealed and stored until now. You may not remember writing it, but your higher self does. And now Archangel Michael begins to open it. The words do not speak like a normal letter. They radiate, they pulse, they whisper in the language of the divine. The first line reads, "You are not lost. You are hidden for protection." Suddenly memories rise, things you blamed yourself for, places where doors slammed shut, people who left without explanation. You thought you were abandoned. But this letter tells you, you were being redirected. Spirit moved you away from people who could not hold your light, from paths that looked right but led to chains. Every delay was protection. Every detour was alignment. Then comes the second line. The time to hide is over. And your body reacts. Maybe chills, maybe tears, maybe stillness, because something inside you knows. You've been playing small, afraid to be fully seen, afraid to be fully honest about what you feel and what you see. But Archangel Michael says that season has ended. This letter is your permission to rise. You are not who you were yesterday, and you don't have to wait for the world to give you approval. Heaven already has. The letter has been opened. The truth is being read. Another line glows now. Your gift is needed before time shifts. That's why the urgency. That's why the pressure you've been feeling that you can't quite explain. Your soul carries a frequency that others need, not in some grand stage, not in fame, but in your presence, in your clarity, in your ability to stand in chaos and still feel peace, in your ability to listen, to forgive, to see beyond the veil. You are a bridge between what is seen and unseen, between fear and faith, between past pain and future light. But this letter cannot activate unless you receive it. And to receive it, you must believe, not in fantasy, but in remembrance. You are remembering now, even if it feels confusing, even if the mind tries to rationalize. Archangel Michael says this is not for the mind. This is for the soul. And your soul is weeping because it finally feels seen, heard, found. This letter continues. You have not failed. You were being formed. Archangel Michael pauses now, not because the letter is finished, but because your spirit needs to absorb what has already been revealed. You see, this is not just about receiving words. It's about unlocking something within you that's been sealed for far too long. You've been walking through this life carrying a quiet ache, the kind that doesn't show up in words, but lingers in your chest, in your bones, in the way you sometimes feel out of place even when everything seems fine on the outside. And here, in the next glowing line of the hidden letter, is the truth you were never told. The ache you feel is not emptiness. It is your calling trying to wake you. Archangel Michael says you were not born for a small life. Your soul was not built to simply repeat patterns, to silence your truth, to walk numbly through each day as if your existence is accidental. That restlessness you've been feeling, that unexplained discomfort, that's the letter knocking from the inside. It's your destiny trying to get your attention before the door closes. Because yes, the time is running out. Not in a fearful way, but in a divine one. You are being aligned with your highest self, and the energy of this era will not wait for hesitation. The world is changing quickly now. Maybe you've noticed it. The shifts in relationships, in time, in energy. People disappearing, truths surfacing, old pain returning like waves. It's not chaos. It's realignment. And Michael says you were born for this time. You've crossed many lifetimes just to be here now. The hidden letter is a map, a spiritual code embedded in your soul's memory. And this message is activating it. You may feel tingling in your spine, heaviness in your chest, even sudden emotion. That's your body reacting to divine truth. Michael gently speaks now, his tone softer, almost father-like. You forgot how powerful you are, but we didn't. Heaven never forgot. Even in your lowest moments, you were never forgotten. Even when you screamed into the silence and heard nothing back, you were being surrounded. This letter was kept hidden because you needed to grow strong enough to read it. You needed to survive the illusions. And now that you have, it's here, unfolding line by line, like light uncoiling through your shadow. You see now how perfectly timed this message is. You didn't find it by accident. The exact moment you clicked, the exact second you chose to listen, that was the moment the seal on this letter broke. It was divine timing, not luck. Your guides, your angels, even your ancestors, they've all been leading you to this. And now that you're here, Archangel Michael urges you to take it seriously, not with fear, with reverence. This letter is a sacred contract, and it's calling you back to your original design. Another line burns brighter now, so strong it almost sings. Everything you seek has already been written within you. Michael reminds you that the answers you've been begging for, about your purpose, your relationships, your healing, they've been with you all along. But pain made you forget. The noise of this world drowned it out. And now, in this quiet spiritual space, it's all returning. You don't need more signs. You don't need to be fixed. You need to remember. That's what this letter is doing, restoring the divine memory of who you are, why you came, and what must be done before time folds in on this season of your life. And perhaps the most haunting line of all appears now, shining with urgency. If you wait too long, the path may fade. Not as a threat, but as a truth. Opportunities are opening now that will not remain open forever. Soul contracts are reaching their activation point. This is the moment where decision becomes destiny. You can go back to forgetting, or you can step into remembering. The letter has been written. The seal has been broken. Archangel Michael is watching, waiting, standing with sword and flame beside your name. He does not speak again. Because now, the choice is yours. Archangel Michael stands in silence now, not because the message has ended, but because the moment has shifted. You're no longer just hearing a divine letter being read. You're living it, feeling it, unfolding into it. The final part of the letter does not arrive as loud declarations or golden symbols in the sky. It arrives as remembrance, slow, steady, ancient. You begin to remember versions of yourself. Not the roles you've played in this life, but the truth of your soul before the world touched it. The child who could sense energies in a room. The quiet part of you that felt things others ignored. The inner knowing that used to feel so alive before others called it too much or imaginary. Archangel Michael shows you now. Those parts were never lost. They were only waiting to be called back. And this letter, this sacred message, is that call. The next line appears with softness, glowing with the energy of reunion. You are not who you were told to be. You are who you remembered yourself to be. Michael shows you the false layers you've carried, beliefs that were not yours, guilt passed down through generations, fears that were absorbed like poison from those who didn't know how to love themselves. These layers became armor, and then that armor became a cage. But now your soul is shedding them like old skin. You may feel raw. You may feel exposed. That's how healing starts. Not with perfection, but with truth. You were not meant to carry so much and still stay silent. You were not meant to shrink your light for the comfort of others. The hidden letter confirms what your dreams have hinted at for years. You were always meant to awaken people simply by being you, not by trying to fix everyone, not by exhausting yourself trying to prove your worth, but by embodying your soul, fully, freely, unapologetically. Michael points now and you see another line, glowing like fire made of words. There is still time, but not forever. This is the moment that breaks through illusion. You realize how much time you've spent doubting your gifts, running from your intuition, letting fear write your story. And suddenly, it all feels too heavy to carry forward. That's how you know the shift is real. Your soul is rising. Your past is dissolving. And Archangel Michael is here, not to push, but to protect, as you step across the threshold into the version of you that the letter has always spoken of. You may not have the full map yet. You may not know what comes tomorrow, but Michael assures you, the message has already activated something irreversible. The awareness, the tears, the energy rising in your chest. These are not reactions. They're awakenings. This is what it feels like when truth touches your soul for the first time in a long time. The final lines appear slowly now, not rushed, but sacred. Each word a frequency, each pause a vibration, and they say, walk forward with light in your spine. Speak only from the fire of truth. Remember what was hidden, and become what was always written. The letter begins to fold itself now, not to disappear, but to rest inside your soul, where it always belonged. Michael nods, not with drama, not with instruction, but with certainty. He knows you heard it, not with your ears, but with your being. Because once a soul hears the truth, it can never unhear it again. The message is complete, but the awakening has just begun. As the letter gently dissolves into your soul, something deeper than memory begins to take form. Activation. Archangel Michael does not vanish. He remains, silent, steady, surrounding you with a strength that doesn't need to speak. His presence is no longer outside of you, it now lives within you. Because once the sacred letter has been read, the separation between divine and human fades. You begin to carry what was once distant. You become the message itself. And now, for the first time in a long while, there is stillness inside your spirit. Not the empty kind of stillness that comes from disconnection, but the peaceful kind that follows truth. The storm that's been raging inside your thoughts slows. The fear that's been living behind your ribs softens. You are not without guidance. You are not without answers. You just forgot how deeply loved you've always been. Archangel Michael looks at you now not as someone broken, not as someone lost, but as someone reborn. The version of you that doubted is no longer at the center. The version of you that hesitated is stepping aside. And the version of you that knows, that remembers, is rising. Because this message didn't come to inspire you for a few minutes. It came to return you to your original frequency. That part of you that sees beyond illusions. That part of you that trusts without proof. That part of you that always knew you were sent here for more. Michael now shows you an image. It's a vision not of the future, but of a possibility. You, standing on higher ground, no longer bending to survive, but standing to transmit. The same energy you once begged for, you now embody. The healing you sought from others now moves through you. You no longer fear darkness, you carry light, and not the soft kind. The kind that exposes lies, the kind that cracks timelines, the kind that changes rooms when you walk in. This was always the plan, but you had to remember it on your own. Now others will feel it. You won't need to speak loudly. You won't need to convince anyone. The vibration of your presence will begin doing the work. The letter, once hidden in the higher realms, is now inside your energy field. And those who come near you will feel it, even if they don't understand it. You will begin attracting differently, responding differently, seeing differently. That's the side effect of divine remembrance. Your life begins to rearrange itself to match your truth. Michael reminds you of one last thing before he steps back into the unseen. Do not wait to feel ready. You are ready because you remembered. And that's it. The message is sealed within your being now. Not to be chased anymore, but to be lived. You no longer have to search for signs outside yourself. You have become the sign, the proof, the bridge, the voice, the frequency of what heaven has always wanted to express through you. Time is no longer running out. It is opening. And you, the one who heard, who received, who awakened, are being called to walk through. The letter is written. The seal is broken. You are ready. There's a subtle shift in the air now. Something only the soul can detect. It's not loud or dramatic, but it's profound. Like when the wind changes direction before the rain. Archangel Michael is no longer standing in front of you, because his energy now moves through you. He has not left. He has simply become part of your inner architecture, woven into your spiritual DNA. The message you just received was not an invitation. It was an activation. And the world around you will begin to respond differently now, not because it has changed, but because you have. You'll notice certain things begin to feel heavier. Conversations you used to tolerate, environments you used to shrink yourself for, roles you used to play just to be accepted. These things will begin to crumble, not because you're breaking down, but because you're breaking out. The hidden letter didn't just bring knowledge, it brought truth. And once truth is remembered, anything false becomes unbearable. People may say you've changed. Let them, because you have. You were never meant to live as a diluted version of yourself. You were never meant to apologize for being spiritually sensitive, deeply feeling, or divinely connected. You've now entered the season of spiritual refinement, a sacred shedding. The light inside you will expose what no longer fits, not to punish, but to protect. And as this light grows, new alignments will be drawn toward you. Souls who speak your frequency. Opportunities that match your calling. Timelines that were always meant for you, but couldn't find you while you were still pretending to be smaller than your purpose. This is the ripple of remembering. Archangel Michael wants you to notice something specific in the coming days. Small signs that were once easy to dismiss will now feel like thunder. You might hear a song lyric that hits deeper than before. A stranger might say something that feels like a direct message. You'll glance at the clock and see repeating numbers not once, but again and again. These are not coincidences. These are the echoes of your hidden letter, playing out in real time, reaffirming that you have crossed into alignment. And when doubt creeps in, because it will, remember the feeling you had when this message reached you. That sudden heat in your chest, that lump in your throat, that quiet knowing that this wasn't just another video or another voice or another moment. This was heaven-breaking protocol to reach you. Why? Because your name is not ordinary in the spirit realm. Your soul holds codes. Your life holds ripple effects. Your energy is part of something bigger than you've been led to believe. You were never forgotten. You were hidden until the time was right. And now, the time has found you. So walk forward differently, with shoulders open, heart uncovered, and eyes ready to see what you once doubted was possible. Let the hidden letter continue to unfold in the silence, in your dreams, in your prayers, in your breath. Because it will. You are not waiting for the divine anymore. The divine is now waiting for you. If these words have stirred something deep within you, if you feel the gentle pull of remembrance, know that this was more than a video. It was your soul's letter being delivered. You are chosen. You are remembered. You are awakened. Carry this message with you into your day. Let it guide your steps, fuel your courage, and shine through every dark corner of your life. If this message resonated with you, please like this video, subscribe to Voice of the Divine, and turn on the bell so you never miss when heaven speaks again. Share your experience in the comments below. Your story could be the hidden letter someone else needs. Your awakening has begun. Stay open, stay aligned, and always trust the light within you.